Imagine being 20 years old, full of energy, ideas, and plans for the future. But the people deciding your future are older than your grandparents. This is real life for millions of young Africans today. Across Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, youth are marching, tweeting, organizing, asking one question. Why are the youngest populations in the world ruled by some of the oldest leaders on earth? This is not just politics. It's a generational showdown. Gen Z versus the old guard. And at the center sits the African Union, the organization meant to represent unity, progress, and the future. But today, many young people feel it represents something else entirely. The past. Africa is the youngest continent on earth. In many countries, the average age is under 20. Most people are students, young workers, new parents, entrepreneurs, dreamers. Now look at leadership. Some national leaders have been in power for decades, in their 70s, 80s, even 90s. Adults before the internet, before smartphones, before the modern economy. Young people are navigating today. Young people want speed. Leaders move slowly. Young people want jobs. Systems are stuck. Young people want accountability. Institutions protect power. Young people want change. Leaders promise patience. And patience is running out. Protests across the continent aren't chaos. They're organized frustration. Youth demand solutions to unemployment, corruption, rising costs, police brutality. And they are frustrated at the AU too. The union meant to protect democracy often appears to protect leaders instead. When elections are disputed or constitutions are stretched to extend power, young Africans see silence, committees, and statements, rarely consequences. It makes them feel invisible. The AU wasn't created to fail young people. It was built on dreams of unity, cooperation, peace, and development. But if Africa is mostly young, why do youth feel shut out? Political systems reward loyalty, seniority, stability, not innovation, energy, or youth. By the time young leaders reach real influence, they're no longer young. Gen Z didn't grow up waiting. They grew up in a world of instant change, global access, and direct communication. Slow politics feels broken. Many young Africans are more educated than ever. Degrees, skills, digital knowledge, entrepreneurial ideas. Yet they face unemployment, low wages, barriers to business. They ask, "You've had decades. Why is the system still failing us?" It gets ironic too. Policies on digital innovation written by leaders who print emails. Youth unemployment meetings with nobody under 60. Leaders asking for patience while holding power longer than Gen Z has existed. Comedy if it weren't so real. Trust erodes slowly. Every ignored protest, every delayed reform, every inexperienced youth comment chips away at belief. And identity matters too. Young Africans are global, connected, creative, entrepreneurial. Politics often still thinks nationally. Institutions seem out of touch. But this is the turning point. Youth aren't just complaining, they're organizing. Online campaigns, grassroots movements, civic education, independent media. They're building influence outside traditional power structures. Gen Z created a third path. Pressure from outside, faster, harder to ignore. Leaders are noticing. Some reform, some resist, some respond with force. So is this a crisis or transition? Every demographic shift creates tension. Africa has a young population, rising expectations, digital power. Explosive? Yes, but full of potential too. Youth aren't just angry, they're hopeful. They protest because they believe change is possible. They demand accountability because they believe systems can improve. Criticism is not rejection, it's pressure for evolution. The future of Africa won't be decided by whether youth shout. It will be decided by whether institutions listen. Open space for youth Focus on real opportunity, balanced representation, and generational conflict can turn into cooperation. If the gap keeps growing, if the youngest population continues to feel governed by the distant past, if institutions respond slowly while life moves fast, this clash will intensify. Demographics don't negotiate. Time doesn't reverse. And youth doesn't stay quiet forever. African youth are losing faith in the AU, not because they reject unity, leadership, or a shared future. They want to be part of it, not spectators. They want action, not statements. Inclusion, not patience. And maybe the real question is, will the African Union learn to believe in its youth? Because the generation demanding change today will define tomorrow. History shows one truth. When youth and power refuse to meet, the future chooses for them.